Okay, so this is our roleplay for crisis intervention and trauma. Naomi Jansen.
Maria Joseph. Naomi Noel.
Okay.
Hi, can I please speak with the worker?
Sure, I'll transfer you right now. Hi there, thanks for calling Safe Talk. How can I support you today?
He hit me again. I'm so afraid. My husband, he's been hitting me. It's been ongoing, and I'm terrified. I just don't know what to do. I have children, and during this incident, they hid when they heard the screaming. But they saw me crying after he had left.
Alright, are you safe right now?
Yeah, I'm alone. The kids are at daycare and he's at work. I'm a stay-at-home mom.
I'm very sorry to hear that happened to you. It sounds very, very traumatic. Sounds like you experienced a very traumatic event.
I think that this is my fault. I do these little things that just irritate him. And he just gets so angry.
Well, I want to reassure you that none of this is your fault. Nothing that you have done has caused this. I'd like to say that I think that no matter what you would do, he'd always find something that would, for him, justify the means of hitting you, which is never justified. None of this is your fault, and a lot of people who have experienced intimate partner violence do feel guilty, so what you're feeling is completely normal, but I want to reassure you that this is not your fault. What kind of thoughts have you been having?
My thoughts are all over the place. As soon as he comes home, I'm excited to see him, but there is a little part of me inside that's worried that it's going to happen again. I think with the stress of his work, he's just been on higher edge recently, and it's just been happening more frequently. So maybe once every day during the week, or twice a day during the week. In the morning, there are little altercations. And at night, it's always a bigger event because he just wants to come home and relax. And I keep on messing up. I know he loves me. It's just, I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Are you having any suicidal thoughts?
After it happens, after every time it happens, I go into a spiral of crying and just thinking it's my fault. I can't even be near my kids because I don't want them to see me like that. So in those times, all I can think of is I don't want to feel like this. And so I have thoughts like, maybe tonight I'll just take extra pills. I don't know necessarily if it's to end my life or just to feel numb. But I know I'm playing a risky game because if I were to end my life, who would my children have?
Do you have a plan? Have you thought of a plan?
I guess my plan would be to wait until everyone's asleep, have a glass of wine, take a pill for everything I didn't like about myself and for everything that he doesn't like about me. And until I'm finished the bottle, I won't be at peace. And then I'll go back into my bedroom where we sleep. And I'll lay down and I'll go to sleep.
Okay. So, what kind of thoughts stop you from doing this?
My children.
That's good. It seems like you have a lot of love for them.
I can't even imagine a world without them. There's Sarah, she's 5. She's brilliant. All my children are brilliant. There's Tommy, who's 10. He's the older brother. He's so sweet and kind to his sister.
Do you usually use wine and pills to help you cope at night?
It's hard because my husband doesn't like when I drink. He calls me an alcoholic. But at the same time, that's how he winds down as well. And sometimes when he's drinking, most of the times when he's drinking, and I'm drinking with him, that's when it starts. We talk about our days, and then something as little as me breaking a glass will set him off. All this money I sent for you and our family, and you're here breaking shit.
Sounds like you feel a lot of shame and guilt in this relationship.
Yeah, you could definitely say that. I'm ashamed of the way that I get treated. I'm ashamed that my children have to watch me get treated this way. And you don't know how many times I've thought of leaving.
Does he threaten you what does he do when you threaten to leave?
He says he'll kill me. You'll end my life. And that's terrifying. But at the same time, it would be over. All of the pain I'm feeling would be over.
Do you have a plan if you choose to leave? Do you have somewhere that you can go? Is there a friend that you can stay with, or is there or do you have a plan of where you would be going?
I would move in with my parents, and if it was an emergency situation, I would go next door to my neighbor's house, but it's just difficult because he knows everywhere that I go. He's very controlling. He's got a tracker on my phone. He knows where I am at all times. So I don't know what I would do. I'm not technically inclined.
Okay. Would you like some resources for available women's shelters, and we can have we can organize someone to come help you, maybe?
I would love these resources. What if he finds me?
All of what you have said right now has been confidential. I won't be able to share this with anyone unless your immediate life is in danger. So there will be no record of this phone call that he can access, so he won't know that you ever called here, and if he has a tracker on your phone, we can help you find a new place of residence, and we can help you find a new phone that doesn't let him track you.
Okay. I think that I don't know if I'm going to be able to leave him because he supports me. And this isn't the first time that I've let a man hit me.
Mm-hmm.
I've always relied on the man of the house. At first it was my father, and now it's my husband. I've taken on the role that my mother took as the lady of the house, who cooks and who cleans and who takes care of the children.
Okay.
Say we went to the shelter. Would my children be able to come with me?
Yes, of course. We have multiple different centers. I can give you multiple different contacts to call that are also confidential, and we definitely have resources that allow women and their children to appear confidential.
That's very comforting. It's all about taking that first step, though.
Mm-hmm. And that can be very difficult sometimes because of how you have relied on him for the past years. It's a very, very scary situation due to the uncertainty and his threats and everything that you think might happen. It's all the ifs that will be spiraling around in your head. What if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? There's always going to be a million reasons not to do it, but there's going to be a million more to do it.
I guess if I were to leave, I would be breaking the family cycle of letting a man hit you and depending on a man. My dad would hit my mom for different reasons, but mostly the same.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel as though you exhibit those same reasons?
The reasons why we're getting hit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and my mom are so like, we're both very clumsy, kind.
Sounds like your kindness is a very big strength for you.
it helps me a lot with my children. I can be understanding, but I feel like that's now posing as a difficulty for me in my life because he apologizes, and we've learned that when someone has apologized to you, you forgive them, but it's so hard to forget. It's so hard to forget those nights of crying and praying someone would save you.
Do the drugs and wine help you forget?
They blur my memory. They numb me. Everything feels like it's going back to normal again, like there's a resetting. It's this constant cycle. Everything's okay. One little thing starts it off, and then it's a domino effect into a big physical altercation. Then I cry, and I cry. And then he apologizes. And then in the forgiving process, I drink. And I take some pills. And I feel okay. And we start the new day.
And it feels like an endless cycle.
Yes, it's an ongoing cycle. And I want to be able to break this cycle. Because I know it's not healthy.
Mm-hmm. So what are some other coping mechanisms that you have besides just alcohol and pills?
The coping mechanism I have is the next day, before and after my children are at daycare, I play with them, or we watch TV, or we go for walks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a coping mechanism that I use right after he hits me.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm just so distracted. There's just this strong visual engraved into my head.
And what's that?
Last night he punched me so hard that my whole mouth, it was red from blood. And I looked at myself in the mirror. I just felt sorry for myself.
Well, I think that a lot of what you're feeling is very commonplace in relationships that are experiencing intimate partner violence or domestic abuse. And those are very hard feelings to deal with because you feel that a lot of the times you feel no matter what you do, you can't stop. And that you can't stop the cycle, and that being in a situation, especially with your kids, is difficult because you are scared for their safety, you're scared for your own safety, and you're scared as to what will happen if you decide to leave and when you decide to leave.
It's gonna take some time, but I know that I'm reaching my limit. I'm reaching my breaking point.
Right. So I want to make a plan with you as to what you could do if things do start to get very out of hand and he starts to endanger your life or endanger or threaten your children's lives. I want you to have an escape plan. I'd like to make an escape plan with you.
Okay.
So in the event of him threatening your life or your children's life, is it possible for you to call 911? You don't have to say anything or you don't have to say anything, but just having someone else, having an observer listen to what is happening, and they can call the police if they decide to do so. I found that another great tactic is that if things have maybe calmed down in that scenario, but you're still scared for your safety, calling 911 and pretending to order a pizza is really helpful. If you say, I'd like to order a pizza, and they'll probably say, do you know you've called 911? You say yes. And they ask you questions like, if you're being abused, say that you want mushrooms on your pizza. And you say, yes, I'd like mushrooms on my pizza. Or if you're in immediate danger, they'll say, do you want green peppers on your pizza? And you can say, yes, I want green peppers on my pizza. So that might be a good way for you to call 911 without seeming like you're calling 911. Do you think you'd be able to have a bag that you could grab if you needed to run?
Yes. I think that I could definitely. We have a place where our luggage is, and we haven't been on vacation in like years. So I feel like I could pack up the bags and leave clothes that the kids don't usually wear or I don't usually wear, and he wouldn't notice if I just left the clothes in the luggage, making it look like the luggage has been untouched.
Mm-hmm. So that could be a good idea if you feel that your life is in danger, if your kid's life is in danger, or your children's lives are in danger. You can grab that luggage very fast without having to worry about packing anything, so that you can just go.
I like that idea.
Okay. I'd like to form... I'm worried about the mention of taking pills and falling asleep and not waking up and having that as an option, having suicide as an option. I'd like to form a verbal contract with you, assuring me that you're not going to do anything that would endanger your own life.
I agree that I will not partake in the mixture of alcohol and pills, and I'll try to limit myself from drinking and limit myself from taking pills, because I know that there are harmful health factors and it's negatively impacting my body, and I want to be here for my children. I want to be able to break the cycle. So this is what I need to do.
I'm very glad to hear that. I'd like to help you overcome this situation.
And I'm very thankful for your support. I'm so happy that I called.
I'm glad. Yeah, that scared you.